Welcome into another edition of Ute Profiles on the men's basketball side of things. I'm Bill Riley, the play-by-play voice of the University of Utah, and another newcomer being profiled this time around, Ian Martinez. Part of the profile today, of course, a standout basketball player, native of Costa Rica. Know a little bit about Ian because he's a highly touted recruit coming in, but his dad's been on the coaching staff for a year. So, Ian, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
That's fantastic. How excited are you to finally be settled here? I know you and the family moved here kind of mid-pandemic and COVID, but to be all together again and actually getting ready to finally play some college basketball.
Man, it's really excited. I know we're in confusing times right now, tough times for everybody, but I mean, gotta be grateful for all this. Maybe a lot of people don't get this opportunity. Not many people do. So it's great to be in a place like this with people like this. I mean, can't ask for much more.
Let's talk about the journey. As I mentioned, it began in Costa Rica, and that's where you and your family are from. Costa Rica known more as a football country than it is a basketball country. But you grew up in a basketball family because your dad was a professional basketball player. So let's talk a little bit about your journey in growing up in Costa Rica and playing basketball where soccer is king.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. So my dad, he used to be a soccer player. He was a soccer player, a soccer family. His dad used to play soccer. So my dad started playing basketball, started learning basketball when he was about 18. So he never played basketball before that. So then, yeah, he started, working out on his game, trying to, get a better education, a better place at that time. So, yeah, he started playing basketball at 18. He got really good in a couple months. He started learning a lot. He got a lot better, and that's how everything started. From there, my uncle started playing basketball too, and it was kind of both of them. There's my uncle and him, and that's how everything started. And then he met my mom, and then all this happened, and here I am. Then I'm 2 years old. Since I was 2, they got the basketball academy going on. And over there, well, my mom's sister and one of my cousins, that's what they're doing. They kept the academy over there, so the academy still runs. But when I was still, we didn't have much, but that was one of the main things my dad wanted to do, was like teach other people. That's kind of what he does. He likes to do. That's what he loves to do. Helping other people get better, just because he never really had a lot of people doing that for him. So that's what he likes to do. He likes to help kids out. That's why we make the academy, also because of me and my brother. My brother, of course, he was older at that time. So that's how everything started. Then from there, they're like, hey, whatever you want to do, we support you on that. You want to play soccer, you go ahead. We're going to do our best. You got to keep working hard. If we think you can go to a higher level, then we'll support you. We'll do whatever we can to, in this case, send you to wherever country. And I'll guess, I don't know, some European country or Spain or wherever it could have been. Well, that would be the case. If it was soccer, well, it was the basketball. I chose basketball. I used to play soccer too, but, my heart was in basketball. That's what I wanted to do. So they did the best. They believed in me. The opportunity came out here in Los Angeles, California. California. And then my brother was there. It was a good situation at the time. And that's where everything kept going. I started growing from there, learning a little bit more of a high-level basketball. My brother was great for me. He was the one who opened all the doors so I could have all these opportunities. So he is also a big part of all this. And because he had to go through he had to go through it all before me, so it was really helpful to have him there by my side when my parents weren't there, when they couldn't be there, because of our situation. And so from there, yeah, the years went by. I kept getting better, and then finally, opportunity came where what I always wanted, get some scholarships. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? I have nobody. I don't know nobody. Then I met with Pat Barrett, you know, Pat Barrett, famous PB, and he had his program at CA, Southern California All Stars, and he began helping me. He believed in me. He always told me, you gotta perform. And then that day came. I think Utah came to see a teammate, not me. They didn't come for me. Nobody came for me. They came for somebody else. But it happened at the time that game. I played good, did good after the game. Pat came to me. He was like, "Hey, Utah wants to offer you." I was like, "What? I got a scholarship?" Like, you lying to me, man. Nobody never told me that. Um, so yeah, it was pretty exciting. Utah has always been there for me, and from the start, recruiting hard. So for me as an international, that's big. That's big for me. You need somebody that believes in you, and especially being in a different country, you got all this stuff going on, and you got support from your parents, but they're not here with you all the time, so it might be a little bit tough. And the language too, it was tough uh, coming here and not knowing a lot of English. Maybe a little bit. It was hard to express myself. I mean, till this day, it's still tough to express what I feel. So that support, that love from Utah, it gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me a lot of comfort. And as the time went by, we kept building a great relationship. And now I'm here. Now I'm here. Had a good career at J. Sarah too. Transfer schools. Had great people over there too. J. Sarah is an amazing place, and a lot of help from a lot of people, not only from the basketball side, academic side too. Met a lot of great people, friends that helped me out in so many ways. Gave me a lot of support too, made me feel really comfortable and just trying to do what I enjoyed to do. So it was really good times. And now here, Utah is about to be the best years.
Let's walk back. Let's walk back in time for just a minute, though, Ian. There was a point where you had to pick between soccer and basketball. Was that a hard, difficult choice for you? Your father was a good soccer player, which, by the way, Henry never told me that all of last year. I just thought he was a basketball guy. But when you had to make that decision, was that tough, or did you know was basketball maybe your first love?
No, it's definitely my first love, being around basketball. A lot. I was around basketball a lot, so that definitely affected my decision because that's what I was used to being around. That's what I felt good being around. And yeah, it wasn't a tough decision at all.
So when you make that decision to play basketball, and then you make the decision to come to the States to go to J. Sarah, as you mentioned, you and I have talked about this on the radio show. Your English, it's fantastic now. And I don't even know because I have a little bit of French in my background, and that's about it. What you're able to do is fantastic. But what was harder for you? Was it the language and cultural transformation, or was it stepping your game up in the basketball side of it? Because, as you said, Costa Rican basketball was okay, but coming to J. Sarah was a different thing. So which part of the transition coming stateside was tougher, the basketball or the language and culture?
I mean, they kind of come hand in hand because you play, you got to communicate too. But I mean, the basketball part, I think it'll come later as my athleticism improved too, got a lot better. But I think it was kind of like the culture part, the language part for me. And it's not that I was a amazing player when I got here, but I always believed in myself, and I kind of was always analyzing and studying and listening to what the coaches and other people had to say, and just working on my mental part, trying to not take this constructive criticism as just normal criticism and that they didn't like me. Try to take it all as something that I could take something good from. So that's what I always try to do. And I was just patient with my improvement. That's all I could do. Keep working and hope to get another opportunity, or try to go out there and get an opportunity.
Families all together now. Last year, your dad was here. You and your mom and your brother were in Southern California. So what's it like to have the Martinez clan kind of all together and have everybody in the same town?
I mean, it's great. It's been a while since we could say, we were settled in this place together. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a great feeling, being away from them for so many years. It has definitely brought back a lot of memories, and also a lot of motivation to just contribute to my family.
I see Coach in the background right there. What's up, Henry? There he is. There he is. There's my guy, Coach Henry Martinez, Ian's dad on the Utah coaching staff. There he is. So from a basketball standpoint, now that you've been here and most everybody is together now, how's the chemistry building just a little bit? You're kind of one of the few newcomers on the team. Last year there were a ton of newcomers, Ian. You're one of the new guys this year. How's the chemistry coming along?
Good. I know we had a little trouble there with what's going on, the pandemic and changing rules and all this changes every day. I mean, anything could happen. Anything could happen. But I mean, I feel like everything's going great so far. Utah has done a great job managing the things that are happening right now. The team is doing a good job too. Make sure they're doing what they have to do, doing the right things. So I trust them. I feel good around them. They do a lot of things to help me make sure I do what I have to do too. So they compliment me too, and I try to do the same for them. And coaching staff, what can I say about them? They're great. They've always been there for me since they started recruiting me. So it is awesome.
So let's talk about your game for a minute. Coach K said you're one of the best athletes he's ever had in any of his programs. If I ask you today in late August, what do you do best from a basketball standpoint? What do you do best?
I can say just make plays. You know what I mean, yeah, just make crazy plays for the team, whether it's on the offensive side, the defensive side. And I think that's what I do best with my athleticism, God-given ability. That's what I can do.
What do you got to work on? What do the coaches tell you got to work on with your game?
Kind of just adjusting to the speed of the game. My shooting, just be ready just to get a really fast game. And as a point guard too, just learning how to control the game. As I gotta slow down a little bit sometimes, just relax, take care of the ball. That's some little stuff I have to work on. Kind of like not go too fast all the time. It's a fast game, but as a point guard, is a little different as you try to control the team, trying to help other teammates out.
I was talking to him about this because he's from Jamaica. Not a lot of pro basketball hoopers from Jamaica. So I asked him who his guy was. I'll ask you the same thing. Not a lot of pro hoopers from Costa Rica right now. So who's your guy in the NBA? The NBA is a global game, so you can see it anywhere. Who's the guy you like?
Or like from the NBA, whoever.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Damian Lillard a lot right now. And I always seen him since his rookie year. And he's one of the main guys I try to emulate, trying to like model my game after. And Russell Westbrook is one that I've always looked at too. And I know a lot of people hate him, but his game is great. Maybe he hasn't been doing his best lately, but he's still good. He had really good seasons too. And he has a lot of great attributes that I think no other players had. So that's a guy that I really like to try to model my game after. And John Morant. John Morant is, I think I'm just like him.
I've heard you've got some hops, Ian, and Ja's got some hops too.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Utah fans are looking forward to seeing those hops on display at the Huntsman Center. Now, we go from basketball to soccer. Who's your guy in soccer? Because Costa Rica's produced a lot of good soccer players, but soccer is also a global game. So when you're watching the beautiful game, who's your guy?
Oh, there's a couple guys in there I know I like. I don't know if I'm going to say his name right, but I know it's Zlatan. I don't know how you say it.
Ibrahimovic.
I'll just pronounce it like with my Spanish accent, but I mean, I don't know how people pronounce it in English, you know? But yeah, I like him a lot. And yeah, he's one of my favorite. Of course, Ronaldo. And then we got some Costa Rican ones. I know there's a guy named Joel Campbell. I like him too. And then another guy called Brian Ruiz.
Ruiz, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that played here in the state of Utah for about 5
Yeah.
years.
It's called Saborio. Yeah.
Saborio.
Yeah.
Scored a lot of goals for Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, my mom was telling me that when we got here. She was telling me, I think we passed by the place where he used to play at. So it was good. I know she told me a lot about that. I didn't know that at first till she told me.
Yeah, he was a good player. I called a lot of his games still. Looking forward to calling yours. Hey, before we let you go, what would you like to tell Utah fans? I know we're not quite sure when basketball season's going to start, but I know a lot of fans are excited about the upcoming season. What would you like to tell the Utah fans?
First of all, well, thanks for all the support. I mean, that's a really big thing for me as an international, like I said. And I know the team is ready to give it all for y'all. I know there's a lot of people there supporting all the time. So we got to go out there and do this for them, not only for us, but for the supporters, the fans. So thank you for everything.
Well, Ian, thank you for being with us here on Ute Profiles. Look forward to seeing you in person real soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
And that's Ian Martinez with us on this edition of Ute Profiles. Check back with us again real soon. We'll profile another Utah athlete in the very near future. Go Utes.